Now, the other usage of this is, let's say you're recording an orchestra section. Well, even the orchestra lab, let's just say. Let's say you're recording a band of any kind. And they're recording along. Now, you know at the end of the night, they're going to say, I would like a rough mix of everything on a cassette or a CD or something so I can take it home and listen to what we just recorded. Well, that is a two-sided issue. If you give them a good rough mix, maybe they don't need to pay the bill. Hello? That's something that's always in the back of your mind. Getting paid. You know. So you give them a rough mix that is not something that they would want to sell. Number one. They're going to want to take this rough mix home, and does that mean that you're going to stay another 2 hours after and do the rough mixes? Or in the cases of these labs here, you're not going to stay 2 hours. The conductor's going to go home, and the conductor wants to take a cassette with him to go home. And you want to record onto the multitrack so you can play with it during the week of what you recorded on your lab, right? Well, once you get these levels going to your multitrack all right, do your mix here that you want to hear, and that goes out the 2-track, and just hit record on the cassette, and it'll record it, because that's going out the 2-track. It's already there. You're hearing the mix there. It's what's at your 2-track. And if you want to double check it, there's a button over here, 2-track monitor. And I can push 2-track monitor A, or I can push 2-track monitor B. That means I could have two different 2-track machines plugged in up here, the output of them, so that if I wanted to listen to the cassette deck, let's say I had the cassette plugged into 2-track B, then I could just listen to the cassette by hitting B. Boom. Now the cassette's coming out of my speakers. Now after the cassette is coming out of my speakers. So if I was recording straight to the cassette and I wanted to listen to that, I could just put B. If I had the DAT machine, let's say, as my 2-track A, and I wanted to listen to the output of the DAT, I just push A, and now I'm listening to the output of the DAT machine. Okay, and then here's my output stereo. And then I have my auxiliary send masters. And my auxiliary returns, and I can assign them to any one of the buses, my auxiliary returns. And then I have a oscillator. I could make a 10,000 cycle tone, or a 1,000 cycle tone, or a 100 cycle tone. And I could record that, or I could balance my devices, balance all the levels. And this has headsets and auxiliary 6 to the headsets, or auxiliary 5 to the headsets. And a talkback. This is a talkback. Hello out there, are you guys okay? Yeah, okay, or we're going to slate it. This is take number 75 of my famous hit song. That's a general description of the board. Then these are meters, level meters up here. They show you your levels for the 2-track and then for the 8 buses. A bus is a way to ride out of the board. The bus, there's a plug right here. It says out, bus out. So I take this bus out number 1 and I plug it into the tape recorder track number 1. So now this volume control controls what's going to that tape recorder. The tape recorder is outside of this. Auxiliary is an extra bus out of the board. This is bus 1. This is bus 2. That's a bus to get out of the board. It goes, I can put it and send it someplace. This is auxiliary 1. It's a bus out of the board. Auxiliary. And on each input channel, it has an auxiliary send. It's just an introduction to a mixing console, a studio mixing console. And it's a nice mixing console. I really like this board. It's very functional. And everything is like easy. It comes in, I've got the assignment buttons, I've got the equalization section, I've got my auxiliaries, I've got my faders and my assignment buttons, and I've got my buses, I've got my monitoring section, and I've got my return of my auxiliaries, and I got my send of my auxiliaries and my 2-track master. It's just kind of all in order, in line, you know.